From being an entirely new concept over a year ago to now being a daily part of the consumer's life, 10-minute grocery delivery or quick commerce has come a long way, with the market now being dominated with players like Zepto, Instamart and Blinkit. Now, as Zepto, the youngest player in this space, turns 2 this year, we're here at one of their dark stores to talk about its 2-year report card, the road ahead, and if quick commerce has proven itself to be a sustainable business model. About this and more, I'm joined by Aadit Palicha, the co-founder of Zepto, and we're here at one of the dark stores of Zepto. Well, Aadit, thank you so much for speaking to CNBC-TV18.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for visiting us.
You know, to start off with, I want to ask you about the entire 10-minute delivery model, right?
Yeah.
Several doubts have been raised over the past couple of years about the sustainability of its model. Now, we're here 2 years into Zepto's operations. What is your take on this? Do you think that the sustainability of this as a business model, as a profitable business model, is proved?
I think a lot of people have these 140-character English takes on whether the business will work without any real deep understanding of the numbers or the nuance of the business. We're in a position when we look at the data, the hard core numbers, our P&L at a store level and pan-India. We're sitting in a position where most of our dark stores today are generating cash on a fully loaded basis. Fully loaded, not some Mickey Mouse contribution margin, CM1, CM2, CM3, but are generating cash on a fully loaded basis. And the businesses continue to grow, which for most consumer internet businesses in this environment, like they've either slowed down or flattened. We've actually grown exponentially. And in terms of the overall company, we're pretty confident we can get the business to cash flow break even in about 12 to 15 months, right? So the business has 3 to 4x, and our cash burn has come down 70% simultaneously. Okay. So a lot of that growth was actually fed into absolute operating leverage. At the trajectory that we're on, we think we should hit about 10,000 crores in annualized run rate of sales within this financial year.
We're here talking about your 2-year anniversary, right? So I sort of want to understand, what would you say was one of those biggest business learnings for you in the past 2 years, from when you started to now, or that one thing that you had to sort of learn, fail, change?
In terms of mistakes, look, I think we are in a position where this business is about discipline, frugality, basis point by basis point execution, and we have really learned that muscle over the course of the past year and a half or so. We're only a 2-year-old company, so our DNA in many respects last year was still getting formed, but I think our DNA now is deeply embedded in that frugality, fiscal discipline, and rigorous mindset, right? That I'd compare to some really high quality companies out there like an Indigo or a D-Mart or a Marico. That's our aspiration. That's where we're trying to get to, right? And that DNA has really helped us. And I think maybe if you came to me a year and a half, 2 years ago when we were still forming our DNA, initially did we have deep fiscal discipline and operating excellence? Probably not. Today, are we much closer to that zenith of operating excellence and fiscal discipline? We feel so. Obviously, long way to go, but that mentality and DNA is something that we've learned and iterated on.
I have to ask you, so many reports floating over the past couple of weeks about, you closing a fundraise round that could make Zepto the next unicorn. It could be the first unicorn this year as per the reports as well. I have to ask you, what's the update on that front? Because also, I think a couple of months ago, you were quoted in a few reports saying that you're not in need of raising funds right now. Yeah. What has changed, and if you can give me an update?
Look, it's a good question. Unfortunately or fortunately, we can't comment right now. But like I mentioned last time, I think given the cash position that we even have today, with or without a fundraise, we're in a pretty good position. But given how well the business is doing, we're seeing some really positive traction and feedback when we talk to the investor community. I think a lot of folks have been looking for a consumer internet business that can grow rapidly and actually generate real ROIC in the long term.
But some indication, this year, can we expect another big round from you?
Look, all I'll say is things are going well.
And within Zepto, I want to sort of talk about what categories have really been growth drivers for you, whether we talk about fresh fruits, whether we talk about FMCG products, personal care, snacks. What categories are you really betting on going forward as well? And in that same thing, if you can also talk about Zepto Cafe and what role that plays, and what's the sort of value addition that brings to your service?
Yeah, look, I think on the categories that we're really seeing pick up and gain traction. So, we're really investing in categories like health and personal care, so shampoos, detergents, home cleaners. We see a lot of growth and potential there. We're seeing categories like, some of the D2C brands, which is cross-category, but the new age brands are really getting more and more share on the platform, and we're happy to be part of that growth story. So those are some of the focus areas. In terms of Zepto Cafe, I think the Zepto Cafe is actually quite exciting, and it's sort of a F&B business that we have on top of grocery that we're feeling quite excited about.